Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, my name is Louie and this is Adventure Time Louie. And today we are going to begin renovating my van Coco. Since it is springtime now here in Oregon, I figure it's time to give Coco a makeover and get her set for some traveling that I would like to do this summer as well as in the fall and winter. So we are going to begin the journey of making Coco into a full, complete, cozy home. First, I need to change into something a little more appropriate for working on a van. So if you're new to this channel, what you might not know is that this van, Coco, used to belong to my mom, and I had another van, which I will put a video in, but I ended up giving my ProMaster van to my mom to live in because she was wanting to live the van life. She was living in this van in the city, and I ended up taking a room in a vegan house in Oregon and to spend some time in. Now I am the proprietor of this beautiful Ford Aerostar 1989. Now that it is my van, I would like to make some changes to it. So today we are going to tear everything out of the van and get her ready to start the new design that I am working on. For my mom's first time ever building out a van, I think she did a really good job at making everything structurally sound and done with really good quality. I'm especially grateful that she passed on some sweet solar panels and a fancy Max fan. Because William and I are going to be living in the van full time eventually, I wanted to make some changes to suit our lifestyle. I think that when you are designing in such a small space, it is important that everything is functional and can be used with ease every day. I want to make sure there is a place for everything in the van. All of the furnishing is going to be a lot lower to the ground in order to create more headspace and the illusion that things are a lot bigger.
So happy in here.
He loves van life. He's like, where are we going next, guys? He's like, I need to go on a trip. Step number one is to remove all of the stuff from the van that I've had cached in here for over the winter. Can a girl? You hear this bars up? Yes! I'm so fucking strong! It's funny because when I was living in Maribel, I found myself saying that I could easily live in something smaller. I like that living in an extra small space with less things, a lots more time for the things that matter. Cleaning and maintaining this van is going to be a lot easier for me. I dream of the space being extra cozy and designed in a way that I can reduce the amount of impact I have on the environment by getting as close to possible to zero waste and traveling at a very slow rate to decrease the amount of fuel I use. Here's all the stuff out of the van. The mattress. It's pretty much all that's been in there. Dishes and things. Yep. Here is the van, empty of the stuff. It looks like we'll be able to use a lot of the wood left over. So the goal for today, day one of this rebuild slash build, whatever you want to call it, is to take everything out and get it back to its bare bones with the flooring that my mom installed, which she did such a great job doing, and then get rid of the rest of the wood. Well, not get rid of, we're gonna save and reuse it, but kind of see how the electrical is all wired up and kind of just take a look at everything and start to see if the design that I planned is going to work in here. So I'm gonna take everything out, make sure I save all of the parts and all of the wood to be reused, and yeah, so that's gonna be day one of this build. Bet you don't watch too many van unbuild videos, so William insists on being with me through this process even though it freaks him out a little bit. I got my bucket hat on. Yeah, got rep that island life though. Yep, the sink's out now and the faucet, and we're just taking all this stuff out. I'll have to figure out how to undo all this. I learned a lot from my first build that I feel like I can use to make the process of building out this van a lot easier. It is also going to be pretty inexpensive to build out because of how little of each material I'm going to need. Oh boy, and the thing I had to learn the hard way was to make sure that you have the right tools. It is so very frustrating to not have the right tools and can be a waste of time and money to have to work on something that you have to redo because you couldn't cut it straight, for example. Here I'm trying to unscrew 50 tiny screws without the right bit for my driver. It took me 10 times longer to finish. Shake my head. I think designing a space that has lots of room for the small amount of items you choose that are important to you to bring along is vital. When building out Maribel, I didn't really even know what was going to be important to me in the first place. This time around, I feel more aware of how little you actually need. I also learned that designing something that is easy to clean is very important as well. I thought that when I was building out Maribel that I didn't need to learn the basic stuff like the different types of wood, safety precautions, and how to actually use tools properly. I felt like I was rushing to get it finished, and this time I have a deadline set that is much further in the future. I'm learning to take things slow and be honest with myself about what I still need to learn, and I'm taking the time out to educate myself before hopping into a project in the van. I'm not a professional builder whatsoever. But I hope these videos can help inspire you to take on your own build no matter your skill level. I also hope these videos can act as a forum for you all to comment your experiences with building things, and I hope we can all help each other out.
Hey guys, so it is many days later. I think it's like been 3 weeks since I recorded the last little bit of me taking out everything from the van. But today we are going to attempt to, and I say attempt because I always make mistakes when I'm building stuff. We are going to start building out the design I made, which I will show you. The design I designed, the design I made, the design I created. And so we are going to rewire all of the electrical, and then we are going to take out the power tools, and we are going to put in some planking that I bought at Home Depot. That took a while to get because of the situation in the world, but that's great, we got it. And we are going to apply that to the ceiling. That is what we are going to do today. I will show you the design.
You are not going to be able to make sense, I'm sure, of this. This is like my first iteration of the design, but basically what it's going to be is a kitchenette in the front with like little foldable table options, and then a pull-out bed there that's like kind of an L shape, and then a little storage slash shelf area where I'm hoping to put a little cubic mini stove in there eventually, or on top of it. And then here are some other rough, I'm not the best artist, so this is kind of what it's gonna look like. I tried to draw in 3D, haven't finished figuring out like what exactly is gonna go here, but you know where all the lighting is gonna go now. This is kind of my little electrical design.
It's not like professionally drawn or anything. I hope this can be somewhat helpful. Hopefully it can help inspire you guys to do your own builds too. I'm starting where I left off with my skills that I developed building my last van, Maribel. I definitely made a lot of mistakes in that van, and it still turned out all right. So now we are going to start again at square one, and I basically have been telling myself that I know nothing about building, and I've been looking things up like how to use power tools, because I'm just admitting to myself that like maybe I don't know how to use them perfectly and correctly. So I definitely recommend even asking questions like what is a drill, what is an impact driver, how to use a jigsaw, even though it seems pretty like self-explanatory. Definitely look those videos up and like take the time to learn the really basic things that you think even you don't need to know. I will regurgitate the information that I learned on the internet, on YouTube, and share it with you, but I definitely recommend going and doing some more research yourself about tools so that you can be fully prepared and knowledgeable about each one, and especially the safety requirements for everything, because we do not want to get hurt today building our dream van. All right, here we go.
So here's some of the things I picked up at Home Depot. I got some wire connectors to connect some of the wires that I'm going to be rewiring, and then these screws, which I don't think are the right screws, but when you're ordering stuff on the internet, it's hard to tell, and I know very little about screws, but we're gonna see if we can make these work. Otherwise, I have a bunch of other extra screws, and we'll just experiment a little bit with that. And then I got these wood jigsaw blades. They are not as good apparently as the dual-sided blades if you're using a jigsaw to do most of your cuts in woodworking. They will work, they will just be rougher, and you have to go a lot slower to get a cleaner cut. I still might cave in and buy some of the dual blade blades to work on my cabinetry and things that are going to be more visible to the eye, because I want this build to be beautiful and I don't want to have to do everything. So we're going to try our best to make everything look neat and pretty. This is the paneling that I got, although I thought it would be a lot heavier weight, but if you can see, there's like 3 rows of it in one package. And this was $22 per package. And it's pine, so it is a softer wood. But I initially thought it was going to be a lot heavier, but I actually think I like that it's lighter. Just better for gas mileage. I want to keep the weight down, so happy mistake there. And so I picked up these tools when I was working on my last build, and I think it was like $130 or something for all 3 of these tools. And I think you should be able to do a whole van build with these. It might take a little longer to cut things, and if you need something to cut lengthwise, this isn't the best option, this jigsaw, to cut lengthwise things, but you can always have them cut it at a hardware store, or you can also rent a table saw and learn how to use one of those, which I might do. But yes, an impact driver is key, and a drill is, I guess this is called a drill, is also very key. And then I also got this kit of things of drill bits and whatnot to help Aiden in the build, and I think this pack is all you would really need. All you're really going to need to do most basic things in a van build. So we will report back on that and see if these were all the things that I needed. But it's nice to have all the right tools. And then I also have some leftover sandpaper that I'm going to use to sand down the edges of the planks just to get a cleaner finish, since I am using only wood blades instead of a dual blade. But we're going to experiment, and plenty of screws to choose from. Yeah, so William's gonna help me. This thing keeps bouncing on my head, but we are going to get to work and start this build. Start putting this build together slowly but surely, and we will finish it. Next week in the Adventure Time van build series, I finally finished putting up the planking and trimmed the fan to make everything look extra neat. I also get the power running again, and maybe I get a little delirious in the process. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and click the notification button if you would like to follow along with the build process. If you want to see where I've been in the past year, definitely go back and watch some of the previous videos. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!